Welcome to Cultured Analysis. So our goal today is to give you a little bit of a demonstration of the newest Rare Combinations alcohol sensor that's been released. So I have the sensor right here, and I just want to introduce a few of the features here while we have it. So you have an on-off switch here. You can tell it has a nice new streamlined body design, very nicely done. Very nice LED display. So again, a big improvement over what we used to have. And of course, the temperature sensor and the bubbler are nicely integrated into the system. They don't move around, nice and sturdy. I really like that. The other nice thing that we have here is the reset button, which I can push to do two things. It turns the bubbler on and off, and it also will allow us to reset the counts up here. So both of these are very nice features to have. So the very first thing that we did was to develop a standard curve using a set of alcohol standards that we prepared here in 100 milliliter volumetric flasks. So what we did was we ran duplicate samples or duplicate runs of each one of those standards, and we placed them into the Rare Combinations software here. So this is available to any user who wants to use the instrument. These were plotted out accordingly. And what we see here is that the points line up very, very nicely. So we have very nice reproducibility here. And we get a very nice curve passing through those points. So we're going to then use that standard curve to analyze 4 different kombucha samples of interest to us. And let's see whether or not they are alcohol compliant. Alright, so here we are back at the lab bench, and we're ready to analyze 4 different kombuchas. So just to give you an intro to what kombuchas we have, our first sample is one I picked up from my hometown in Virginia. It's a nice regionally made kombucha, and it is ginger hibiscus. The second sample here is sangria, and it's not the drink, it's a kombucha flavored sangria, and it is from a local commercial producer. Number 3 here is my own homebrew. That's a cherry with a little bit of spice involved as well. So we're ready to start out with our first kombucha sample here. This is our ginger hibiscus. Again, a commercial sample. I'm going to take about 20 milliliters of that, which I've previously degassed by decanting. And bubbler is on. And we're going to go ahead and introduce this kombucha and see where we land. Alright, so what we see here is I'm going to do a quick reset here just to make sure we're reset on the counter here. And we'll go ahead and let this get to its highest possible value. So it looks like we're up at about 674. It's moving just a little bit, so I'm going to let this actually stabilize. And it looks like we have a high value here of 675 counts. So I'm going to bring that over here, and I'm going to put that into my raw counts here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce that raw value into the spreadsheet here. And we're going to see what we get. And that's going to correspond, in this case, to an ABV of 0.78%. So this one looks like it's a little bit higher than legal. We'll go ahead and record that. So we'll move on to our next sample. So what I like to do here is first discard this one. And then what I like to do is I like to wipe down the assembly here, so we're minimizing the amount of carryover that we get. And then the other thing I like to do is I like to let the sensor reset itself. So I'm going to go ahead and do a reset here, since we're moving on to a new kombucha, which may be at a lower value. And I can see those counts going down. And again, I like to see those counts go down to something considerably lower than my first standard, which came in at about 511 counts. I want to make sure my counts come down well below that. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of sangria in here. Sorry, sangria flavored kombucha. And I'm going to bring this to about 20 milliliters. There we are. now it looks like we're down to about 200 counts, so that should be okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. Okay, and this one is coming up. So we're letting the count stabilize here. So this one looks like it's stabilizing out at about 607 counts. So let's put that one in and see where we get. 607. Okay, so that's going to be down around 0.34. This one looks nice and legal. Always good to see. Okay, so take that out. And now we're on to some of the home brews. So these should be kind of interesting here. Again, letting that sensor come back down, and I will reset here. There we go. And number 3 is Homebrew Cherry Kombucha. So let's do a quick rinse here. So far we've got one that's running a little high in alcohol and another one that's running nicely in compliance. Let's see what the homebrew is doing here. I'm going to take a guess here. I'm thinking this one might be just a little bit boozy because I let it brew for about 2 days longer than I normally do. So we've had a little more fermentation here. Let's see if I'm right or not. And it looks like this one is stabilizing out at about 625 counts. So let's put that in. And it looks like we're going to be at about 0.43%. So we're still legal on this one, even though we still have that extra day or two of fermentation. I'm happy with that result. So based on all of the data we've gotten and a really nice looking standard curve, I can say that we here at Cultured Analysis definitely continue to recommend the Rare Combinations Alcohol Sensor. It's a real beauty.